Windows 10 fights 0 days before they happen. Interracial marriage emoji. SpaceX is back in flight. And we're not working on Martin Luther King Day. We're celebrating. All that and a whole lot more coming up on Tech News Today.
This is Twit. Bandwidth for Tech News Today is provided by CashFly at CACHEFLY.com.
This is Tech News Today, episode 1684, recorded Monday, January 16th, 2017. This episode of Tech News Today is brought to you by Grasshopper. Stay connected and run your business from your mobile phone with Grasshopper. To save $50 on your order, visit trygrasshopper.com/twit. Hello and welcome to Tech News Today. This is the show we talk about some of the biggest tech stories of the day. And we talk about them with people who are passionate about technology. I'm Megan Maroney. Jason Howell is out today, but with me in his place is Owen J.J. Stone. Oh, doctor. Welcome, Owen.
I just realized that, hello, Megan. Let me start off with the hello, Megan. Missed you. Love you. How you doing?
Back at you. What did you just realize?
I just realized that I, as a black man, shouldn't be working today. How did Jason get off today? And I got to be here working. That makes no sense. This is MLK Day. We got to talk to the head of state over there and figure out what's going on. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day to you, Megan. We're over here working.
Yeah, well, here's the way I look at it. We're celebrating. We're celebrating Martin Luther King Day by doing what we love, changing the world by talking about technology.
Because I love you, I'll let you put that spin on it. But we're supposed to not be working today. But yes, I accept that we're changing the world with technology and joy in our hearts. I'll accept that from you today, I guess.
Well, I did enjoy your tweets with your pictures of your beautiful daughter, the little social justice warrior that she is. And
oh, yeah, she's all about it.
And your advice to listen to the whole speech, to not whitewash it, as many have.
Well, it's also easier. I understand. Like, a lot of people thought I was like pointing them out when I kept pointing to people. I'm like, I'm not yelling at you about it. I'm just saying it's more than just I have a dream. He was talking about people that were poverty stricken, not just black people, but just the lower class of people. We still have that issue today. So if you actually listen to the whole speech, it would really resonate. But, teachers, corporate elite, the world doesn't want people to really understand that we still have the same problems from 50 years ago today. So listening to the whole speech gives a much better perspective on that man and what he was trying to get accomplished later on in his life.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen to the whole speech, listen to the other speeches, read the letter from the Birmingham jail, do it all. And if you want to learn more, the hashtag Reclaim MLK, that was some interesting reads for me today.
We watched Selma today. Me and my daughter watched Selma. She was very upset. She's like, this movie's just making me mad. And I'm like, it's going to end kind of happy. It's okay.
And sometimes,
it's just funny. She's like, how could people be like that? And I'm like, some people are like that.
I like her attitude. How can people be like that? And
yeah, good question.
I agree. And if she likes graphic novels, John Lewis's graphic novels, I don't know if you guys have those at home.
She loves graphic novels, and I do not, but I will look into that.
Awesome. All right, well, let's get to some tech news.
Yay.
Let's celebrate with some tech news. So let's start with some Windows 10 news. Microsoft says the Windows 10 anniversary update protects you from exploits even before they get patched. Thanks to exploit mitigation controls, Microsoft security researchers say systems running Windows 10 anniversary update are more secure against future attacks. That's good news since hackers, as we know, are always coming up with new ways to breach systems. In privacy news, Microsoft is not doing so good. There are some new changes to the anniversary update, but there's still no privacy off switch that lets users totally opt out of data collection. Are you running Windows on any of your PCs?
I am, and I don't use it as much as I would like to because it's annoying to me. I bought a PC. I was trying to switch over because I want to switch over because Apple's not doing me right in the laptop department. But it's just frustrating. And Microsoft kind of sets herself up with future protection because everybody knows that when something gets hacked, it's usually Windows first. So I guess we'll see how good their new 0-day firewall super soldier protection works out for them.
Right. I mean, this was released in a paper, but it hasn't been independently verified by anyone else. But much of the anniversary update is dedicated to neutralizing the zero-day threats. Other Windows news, Joshua Burge from Emojipedia says the newest Windows 10 Insiders build adds emoji for interracial couples. This is the first major platform to do so. Before, everybody was all yellow, no matter who you were married to. What do you think about the new update to Windows 10?
I think that's sweet. Awesome. As a person who could use an interracial emoji from here to there, it makes it useful, I guess. And it's funny because I never use yellow people emojis. I just avoid them at all costs. So if I have to do like a hand or fist or finger, I can always change those colors. But I've always avoided the people because I'm like, yellow people? Why are we using yellow people? Are we the Simpsons? So this might have me using people of color in different colors and rainbow colors and genders. And I think it's awesome because representation is king in the world. So yay for that.
Yeah, I think that some of the people were already, you could change the colors of the skin color of the people, but not just the married
the couples.
people, not the couples.
Yeah.
And you could also change the families. Like, it was weird, too, that they started with families could have interracial parents.
Well, was it interracial or was it just all one color? Because I thought it just changed the color of the, right?
Well, I think if you scroll down on that article from Emojipedia, I think diverse families.
Oh, now, yes.
There.
I was talking about previously. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, yeah, but it's complicated. But yeah, I do think whenever anyone says like, oh, emoji, but I do think you're exactly right. It's representation, and people should be able to see themselves no matter what they look like, who they're married to, etc.
Especially kids. Like, kids see things very visual. They're going to, like my daughter say, why aren't there black people? Like, she'll ask that question, you know what I mean? So it's good to see yourself in the world and have choices. Yay, choices.
Exactly. Google is using machine learning to make it easier to store high-resolution images using less data, but only if you use Google Plus right now. A new technology called RAISR, which stands for Rapid and Accurate Image Super Resolution, can reduce data costs up to 75% per image. Google says they'll roll this out more broadly in the coming weeks. For now, it's only available on Google Plus on a subset of Android devices, but that is already 1 billion images per week and already reducing bandwidth costs up to a third. Any thoughts on RAISR, Owen?
It's a great thing to have in the world. One, because I get to feel like Pied Piper is coming true in the real world. It's not just a TV show. We're crunching data. We're making numbers count. And then we're bringing back the full resolution out of it. I mean, not joking aside, this is very important, especially with Google making the push with their Photos app, where they're backing up some of people's photos, and Apple's still giving people a small phone size. There's still so many people with a 16 gig phone that they have to delete stuff all the time. They got a little bit better with their new update with the 32 gigs, but that alone, people always usually choose the unlimited, smaller version of the backup. But with this technology, you could do that and then still get back like a higher res of the picture potentially in the future. So I'm all for this as a photographer and a lover of pictures and video. So this is great.
It also can sharpen the images, apparently. So
apparently, like I said, effort is being made, and the size matters most. I have currently on my iPhone right now, I think I have 22,000 pictures. That's
a lot of pictures.
Yeah, and that's only from like 2013. Like, if I had it from when I had an iPhone, you start to get a smartphone, you're just taking pictures out the wazoo. So I've got all my pictures on there from like the last 4 or 5 years that I've taken with that phone, and I just don't get rid of them. So crunch, 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 more space saved. Yay.
So do you have them on iCloud and somewhere else?
I back them up myself, usually Dropbox. I don't pay extra for iCloud because there's other things I could do, and there's only so much I could do with that. And I don't really trust Apple in the cloud, and they had a whole bunch of people getting hacked. Not that I'm famous or important enough, but I just try to not do that because it's attached to my real name. Like, I can set up a Google Photos and have it set up to a Gmail account that's not my name and all that kind of stuff. So if somebody was looking for me, they'd have to find me and then find my photos. I'm very incognito on the internet. I try very hard to hide out in plain sight as much as possible.
Well, I do iCloud. I'm not famous enough either to feel that my pictures are going to be hacked, and I show them so often on the show that I'm not worried. But I also do Google Photos. Again, not worried. But I've been using, I don't know if you've seen this, but I've been using Jason's Pixel for a month. We're seeing how the other half lives. And then I was like, oh, these are only backing up to Google Photos. And then now I also back up to OneDrive and Amazon Prime. It's like there's so much free backup space now. It's amazing. And I like to use all of it.
You might as well. And don't lie to the people. I know you feel real good about having that Pixel on your phone. That Pixel's a sexy little phone. That Pixel's a phone that's done right. It's snappy. Guess what? When you talk to that phone and you ask it a question, you get a real legit answer. You don't get these Siri foo-foo answers. Like, you get knowledge and information. And then when you put your finger on the back, it just opens up. I really love that phone. If I wasn't on a network that I couldn't get it, I might get it. I love that phone. It's a good phone.
Oh, she heard you.
She did hear me. She was like, why are you talking about me?
She's like,
no, you talking about me like that on the internet.
She heard you.
She heard me, but it's better. I like the Pixel. I like it a lot.
I like it fine. It feels like it's a little bit of a toy. I mean, what I've learned in this 1 week, it's only been a week. Many people doubt we're going to make it the whole month, and I say we are. They're not really that different. The hardest part is just change, is adjusting to like, oh, wait, there's no home button. But no, there's a button. There's a dot there. There's really no home button on the iPhone 7 either. It's a fake button. Yeah.
And when the power goes out, it freaks me out. Like when your phone actually dies. And I go to click it, it bothers me. I think something's broken. And I go, oh, yeah, it's not a real button. Like, I've had to tell myself that a couple times.
Yeah.
So, like you said, they're the same. They're different. The apps are sometimes where it comes in where you feel that they're different, where usually one side is lacking versus the other, depending on which apps you're using, obviously.
And I'll tell you, that material design, like the Google happy faces, everyone's a rainbow color, that just makes you feel good when you install an app, and it's just that same sort of thing every time. I like that.
Yeah. Consistency.
Yes.
We like it.
Yeah. Well, J.Y. Lee, the acting head of Samsung, could face formal corruption charges. South Korean officials accuse Lee of bribery, embezzlement, and perjury. Lee is the son of Lee Kun-hee, who is the official head of Samsung and is currently incapacitated. Not great news for Samsung, who recently announced that despite the headache of the recalled Samsung Galaxy Note 7, the company was still on target to post record profits. The court will convene Wednesday on this. This is big news for them. Usually, they get told that they're doing something wrong, this family, but they never go to jail. They never really nothing happens. But this is new. What do you think?
I think somebody forgot to pay the right person, because normally when this happens, it's because somebody in that line, that chain, did not get their check, and they're really upset because, as you said, they do this stuff all the time. I wish this was more commonplace. I wish that America would do stuff like this, because, corporations dab and dip their toes in places they're not supposed to. They have influence, they have power. So I feel bad for the guy because he got caught, but at the same time, if you're doing what you're doing, hey, they're not playing games right now. It's like I said, he probably didn't pay somebody he was supposed to. But it just looks really bad. Talking about 2016 and rolling into the year for somebody bad, Samsung has had a bad, 10 months? 8 months? Just bad. Like, everything that could go wrong for them, top to bottom, it's going down right now. So, Samsung.
So what are you saying? Let's back up a little bit. Are you saying that you think that companies in the United States are doing this similar kind of embezzlement and bribery, and that our officials are being more lenient than these South Korean officials?
They're called lobbyists. Okay. And the votes that go a certain way, like you could listen to. Long story short, without getting political, yes, I do. I'd be a fool not to think that regulations aren't bent to the will of people, especially those people as powerful as they are. We see more companies merging now, when there used to be a thing we used to hear about all the time: monopoly, monopoly, monopoly. I don't hear any of that discussion when I hear about this such and such Fios buying up AT&T or AT&T buying up time. Like, I'm like, wait, how can you just allow all these companies to get bigger and bigger and bigger? Like, the word monopoly is like a dirty word right now. So yes, I do believe that money is corrupting a lot of things in the world right now, especially when you got a ton of it.
All right. Well, we'll see. Later this week, we're going to talk to Elise Hu, who she used to be one of the co-hosts on Tech News Today, and she works for NPR now, and she is going to, she reports from South Korea, so she's going to come on and tell us what's going on over there.
I'm going to check that out.
Okay.
I'm excited. Something like that excites me. Like I said, it's like you wonder how come nobody ever gets caught for this stuff, and you know it goes on. So then when it does come out, you're like, oh, well, you think other people do? Yes, they do it. They just don't get caught. So when they get caught, you're like, ooh, let's see what happened. What went down?
Well, it seems to me like what's going on in South Korea is there's sort of a lot of bribery going on, and people just sort of turn the other way, and that's not happening anymore. I wouldn't necessarily call it bribery in the United States. It's just legislation.
I said lobbying. See what I mean? See,
right.
I said lobbyists and lobbying. I didn't use the word bribery. See, it's semantics. It's the whole reason why we have money in politics. Why don't they just take it out so then there's no influence, right? If an oil company comes in and gives you a whole bunch of money and then you tell them, hey, screw the environment, we're going to go drill offshore and put billions of gallons of oil in the water, you say, oh, well, it's just a coincidence. Is it? I don't know. But I'm not going to call it bribery per se. I'm just going to say that there's a lot of money floating around and no one does anything for free. I'm not even here right now for free. You owe me 2 cupcakes and a bag of Skittles. Okay?
Okay,
All
good.
right.
Good. Leo owes you 2 cupcakes and a bag of Skittles.
Hey, I'm talking to you. Don't worry about what Leo owes.
Okay,
I'm talking
good,
to
good.
you.
All right. Well, really, Jason does. I mean, let's be honest. He's the one that's not working today.
He's out living the dream without us. You're right. Put it on Jason.
Jimmy Iovine confirmed rumors that Apple plans to get into the original TV content arena. Iovine says the new content does not have to be music or about music. They're going to do whatever hits pop culture smack on the nose. Those are his words, not mine. Currently, Apple Music has 20 million paid subscribers. So they're looking to roll in some sort of entertainment, original entertainment, kind of the way Netflix or Amazon does, that people subscribe because they can only get it there. What do you make of this, Owen?
If they do something with some Disney content, do they have a partnership with Disney? Great. Long story short, you need video content, and they need this because I think to myself every month when I pay my Apple Music bill, why don't I switch back to Spotify? Because I can play Spotify on my PlayStation. You know what I mean? It just works in multiple places. And I just think, why am I locked into just having this on my phone? And there's going to come a point where I don't just want to lock to my phone. Like they still have never gotten over to having it on Android yet. So this is something that will make people happy for a time. So they need to get on that ASAP, and it needs to be killer content, because just having content doesn't matter. It's got to be good. You know, Netflix right now with their custom content is killing it right now. They're doing a lot of amazing stuff.
I agree. And I mean, same with HBO, as they always have, and Hulu. There's original content on Hulu now, but there is Apple Music is on Android. I don't know if that's what you meant, but I can download Apple Music and listen on my Android device.
How's it working out for you?
Well, it's great because I pay too, so it's like it's good to have it for this month. I mean, I
haven't tried it in a while. Last time I tried it, it was just horrible for me. Like, I usually don't have a bad experience with Apple Music. How people always complain about, oh, Apple Music is horrible and you can't understand anything. I had no problems on my iPhone, but on Android, it just was not working for me. Yeah, I'll give it a go again. Maybe there's an update and things are better. I'll try it again.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. And I think, you ask a good question. Why do we pay for it? Well, because we have to, because there's no free tier. There's no Spotify free tier. There's no, there's just the trial, and then that's it.
Oh, no. I just meant, why do I pay for that over Spotify? Like when I'm on my PlayStation or I'm at my friend's house and he's running Spotify on his PlayStation, I'm like, I should stop paying for Apple Music and just use Spotify. I can use it on so many different devices. Alexa, you can use Spotify. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just more. Amazon TV, you can use, like, there's just more places where it's openly accessible if you're using Spotify versus Apple Music. I just really like Apple Music because I like talking to Siri. That's one good thing Siri does. When I ask her to play somebody, she is always on it.
True. That is true. She can do some things. I'm sure you're just saying that because she's listening to you. Elon Musk's SpaceX is back in flight. Over the weekend, the company launched a Falcon 9 rocket into space to release 10 Iridium communication satellites into the Earth's orbit. This is the first SpaceX flight since the rocket exploded on the launch pad last September. Of course, this is a new rocket, not the same one that exploded. But this is exciting. Sure? Well, I'm not even sure these really took off. I mean, I wasn't there. This could be fake news as far as I know, but
true story.
But yeah, SpaceX, this is their 7th successful flight and booster recovery. I'm a fan of SpaceX. What do you think, Owen?
I love SpaceX. I'm still not a fan of going to Mars. I don't think we're going to Mars. I can repeat that a million times. But I do understand the relevance of SpaceX. I love the fact that they're bringing competition to the market, especially smart competition. When you look at Lockheed Martin and Boeing, and I have a lot of friends that work for both of those companies, so no disrespect, but they are a massive behemoth that doesn't know how to slim down and scale to save money. Right now, they're just cranking out whatever they crank out the same old way they've always done. And they're not innovating right now. So SpaceX for that and pushing things forward is amazing. Love Elon. I just need him to pump the brakes on the whole Mars living thing.
Yeah, well, it does seem like there were some things released. Some of their numbers were released, and it looks like they're not doing so great. Maybe Mars is not in our future. So maybe you'll get your wish.
There's other things to do. Like they're trying to launch for a satellite. There's all kinds of other things we could do. We could get a space station going, before we have to worry about, being on another planet. Like they promised us that we're going to be living on a space station. We're going to have it. Okay, well, let's get that going and see what happens first. So, but I love SpaceX. I love the innovation. I love that they push things forward, and yay. Hopefully nothing blows up anytime soon.
Yes. That was, of course, a Facebook satellite that blew up. They weren't that happy about that. It was caused by an exploding helium tank inside the craft's liquid oxygen tank. And I'm told by Scooter X in the chat room that it wasn't an explosion. It was a rapid disassembly.
Okay. I'll buy that. It reminds me like the Lego movie where they put things together and they take things apart. A rapid disassemble.
After the break, who wants a foldable phone? I do. But first, let's take a minute to thank Grasshopper, the sponsor of this episode. Grasshopper is a virtual phone system designed for entrepreneurs. Grasshopper works just like a traditional phone system, but it doesn't require any hardware purchase, and it requires no software installation. They have an iOS and an Android app, and callers can reach you wherever you are on your mobile phone. Grasshopper allows you to keep your existing number so you can maintain your brand. When you make a call, your client will see your Grasshopper caller ID instead of a personal phone number. Simply select a toll-free or local number, record a custom greeting, and add multiple extensions for your business. Toll-free numbers are great for marketing, and they make your business sound more professional. Set up department and employee extensions with custom call forwarding to any phone in the whole world. Get voicemails emailed to you as audio attachments. You can also send and receive SMS text messages from your business number. So join over the 250,000 Grasshopper customers today. If you look at the feedback online, you'll see how happy these customers are with this solution. But don't trust us. You can try it yourself. Plans start at just $12 a month. You have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So turn your smartphone into a business line with Grasshopper. To save $50 on your order, go to trygrasshopper.com/twit. That's trygrasshopper.com/twit. And we thank Grasshopper for their support. L.M. Picard wrote about a recent discussion that Jason and I had about advertising-supported web content. He says the problem with this model is that ultimately everybody pays for advertising. Every time you buy a product or a service, some portion of the cost is advertising. As a captive consumer, I am forced to pay for this buried cost. However, I have no say in how advertising dollars are spent. In this sense, advertising could be considered taxation without representation. This isn't really a tech conversation, but more of a political conversation. So, Owen, what do you think about paying for advertising in products?
If the advertising was great, I had no problem with it. But the advertising now is just abysmal. Like, advertising anymore is just atrocious. And it's either bad advertising, or when you get the good advertising, you're so shocked that it's good that you want to actually share with people. It's rare. Everybody's moving to this Apple movement now too, where they're trying to make you feel. I sound heartless, but a lot of people are trying the Apple thing where they play some music, they have a dad hug a grandfather, and they walk a puppy into a puddle and comes out with a flower in his mouth. And I'm like, you're not Apple. Like, stop it. Like, you can't do it. Like, I know you picked this obscure song and you paid a lot of money for it, but maybe the advertising was great. I wouldn't care, but I agree wholeheartedly. If they're taking my advertising money and using it in that way, then let me go make some of these commercials so I can have some fun with that.
So you're upset that part of your iPhone cost has to pay for that puppy?
Yeah. I was going to buy the phone anyway. At this point, the phone's already branded itself. You don't have to say nothing because, honestly, this is honest to gosh fact. I shouldn't even have this iPhone 7. I think it's one of the worst phones they've made. Do you know why I have it? Because your other phone starts getting slow and older, and I have to look like I know what I'm doing and have a status symbol, so I buy it. I didn't buy it because you said having no headphone jack was better for me, because it's absolutely not. I bought it because I wanted it. And I wanted it because it's an iPhone. So until you make really, really bad iPhones, they start blowing up or catching on fire, your branding is pretty much already done. So all this money you spend on these commercials, you're not fooling anybody. Your product's already there. Now, Pixel, maybe they need to spend some money on some branding because it's a new phone. It's a new thing. But Apple, no. I could do without the puppy coming out of the water and telling me that life is special and magical when it's not. Like the guy on the bicycle that's riding around in the rain at night taking video. There's no video that looks like that at night on your phone. It just doesn't. And you can say it all you want to, but really everybody knows, like, my video's not going to look like that if I go outside right now in the rain and try to take video. It just won't. Advertising.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Well, granted, you are an original. Like, no one I know criticizes Apple products and buys as many Apple products as you.
Because I'm an honest person, and we all know it. You know the Apple ain't doing what they're supposed to do. You know all the magic's gone. You know since Steve left that there's a problem. But the fanboydium in your heart won't allow you to tell the truth. You just accept it, and that's what happens when you're brainwashed by Apple. I'm heart-washed, but I ain't brainwashed. Like, I know this phone ain't better, but my heart won't let me leave because I got the watch, and I got the computer, and I got the laptop. Yes, this commercial. You show me. I want to see one person out there with their bicycle riding around in the rain, making a video, and have it come out ball. Just stop it. I can't. Whew. Got me upset. Oh, but another thing about commercials and advertising. Me and my daughter do a great thing where we watch commercials and then I have her explain to me if it's a good or bad commercial. So I'll tell you about a Sprint commercial. We watched the Sprint commercial. I said, what do you think of that commercial? She said, I think Sprint's a horrible company. And I said, why do you think it's a horrible company? She's like, what kind of company gives you your third and fourth line free unless their service is terrible? And I said, let's get some tea and go on about our day.
She is smart.
And she's 9. Mm-hmm. So, advertising.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the discussion we were talking about was about web advertising. But I think your point is similar in both. So TNT's
Yay.
fan of the day is Per Productions. They make videos and they watch our videos while making theirs. So thank you for tweeting and watching. Show us how you watch or listen to TNT. Just record a video or take a picture of yourself or your setup. Post it on Instagram, Google+, Twitter, or Facebook. Use the hashtag HowIWatchTNT, and we are going to find it. And finally, tonight, The Verge points to some evidence of a possible future Surface phone, and it might be made up from a tablet that you fold up so that it fits in your pocket. Microsoft has filed for a patent for a mobile computing device having a flexible hinge structure. Patents could lead us down some ridiculous rabbit holes, and they have. But the Surface Studio was in part also leaked through patent applications. So, Owen, do you want to be able to fold up your tablet and use it as a phone?
Haven't we, okay. If this had it's not going to. If that has a physical keyboard, I know 1.2 million women that will buy that phone off of GP just because they miss being able to click keys and with their nails and not have to touch the screen. But other than that, didn't Nintendo try this with the DS? And I don't know. Don't we have a Surface tablet? Don't we have a Lenovo Yoga tablet? Don't we have the Surface? How much flippy folding do you think we need? How much screen space do we need? And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe they do something innovating, where there's a 3D ninja laser beam that comes out from the one screen to the other. I don't know. I'll check it out. I'll play with one, but I'm not excited about it per se. Not going to go to sleep tonight dreaming about a triangle TP pod thing that came up on the screen. Not going to do any of that. No.
You're not going to be dreaming about it. Okay.
Nope.
So what about the foldable device that LG is coming out with in 2017? That I guess that's a foldable phone that's supposed to come out this year.
I'd be happier if it was, you know what? Give me this iPhone and make it a flip phone so that it would be half the size of this, and then we're talking. But don't try to give me two iPhones size things into a screen. I don't want that. Like, somebody had a flip phone the other day, believe it or not. And I was like, what are you doing with a flip phone? He's like, I just don't like smartphones. And I picked up the phone and I asked him, how long does your battery last? He's like, I don't know, 12 days, 20 days, I don't know. And I'm thinking to myself, man, if I had this phone in my iPad, which, has the LTE in it and all that stuff, I was like, I might be able to live. I would be less annoyed. People wouldn't be bothering me as much. I wouldn't have to worry about so many emojis. What about somebody making a flip phone that, again, is half the size of the iPhone? That would be a cool phone. Because if I can flip this down and put it in my pocket or in my shirt or anywhere where it's not bothering me, walk around with this thing's like having a dinosaur in your pocket. But if this was half, that'd be amazing. But taking that and doubling it, you're not. No, dude, I got iPad minis. It's just not sexy. It's not cool. I don't need it. I already got to deal with this Switch thing now that I got to carry around from Nintendo. So, no, flip tablet phones do not excite me.
Okay. Well, I mean, you probably weren't the market for the Surface phone anyway.
I'm not. I'm trying to be happier because people say I always complain a lot. That's why I keep ending everything with yay, because I assume that ending things on a positive note with a positive affirmation would make me sound like a more pleasant person. So, yay, it's not for me.
Okay. Well, Burke wants to weigh in on this. We have the Burke cam, I think. He said, if half is keyboard, yes, which I think.
See, that's what I said.
Yeah.
They'd sell like hotcakes,
mm-hmm.
Literally like hotcakes. People miss that. People want that textile feel.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is only a patent. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen.
We could dream.
But I do want to get back to the first point you made. I feel like I have the woman's beat covered often, but you say 1.5 million women who have trouble with the on-screen keyboard because of their fingernails?
Yes.
Can you elaborate? What happens? You can't use your fingernails on the
This
screen?
is a family show. I've got nails, but I mean, if you wanted to go down to a gentleman's club or a nail salon or talk to somebody who has a longer nail system, yes, they miss keys. Women with longer nails miss keys. I actually hear it. It's a general comment of conversation. Oh, don't you remember when phones had actual keys? You could type faster instead of this screen where you get all smudgy. And not that women sound like that, because that's going to just sound horrible that I made that sound. But you know what I'm saying. I'm just, Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Caught myself.
All right. So the women's club or the nail salon, that's what you're talking about. Got it.
Women with long nails. Let me see your nails. What do your nails look like?
They do not look good.
Obviously, then you don't have a problem.
Okay, no.
Go get some press-ons and then come back to me.
Okay, I will. That's a good, for this month I'm doing Android. Next month I'll do press-on nails. I got it. All right, so thank you so much for joining us. Let's talk a little bit about what you're working on. I know you just recorded a Doc Tales with Brian Brushwood.
I did.
Maybe that's where you talk about the nails. It's called Girls, Girls, Girls.
Man, it sounds better than it is. We were talking about parenting and being fathers of daughters.
Okay.
And how much different it is than raising boys. We don't have boys, so we specifically talk about the trials and tribulations of raising daughters. When you say that out loud to me, it sounds so ridiculous that the way you said it, how it sounds. But no, it was actually.
I don't judge. I'm not judging.
Hey, I talk about crazy stuff. I've had a sex expert on the show. We talked about sex and how to sexual education, all that kind of stuff. So there's no judging. But the fun thing I'm doing again is called random drinking. And I do it live on Wednesdays, where I sit down in front of a camera and we watch memes and talk about life topics, and I get drunk in the hour. And I drink about, 8 shots or 12 shots worth of alcohol. So by the end of it, I'm a little loopy. And people could call in and we could talk. And I embarrass myself. IQMZ.com. I do a whole bunch of different shows. Stuff's over there. You can watch it. I even, back in the day, did a random drinking with Leo. Leo got drunk. And he told some stories that, how Leo tells stories. So
that sounds amazing. Can I still get that online somewhere?
Yes, you can. It's on IQMZ.com. Random drinking. You should be on the show sometime. I'll make you come suffer with me on the internet so you could drink. There it is. down, random drink, and see it's like the fourth one or fifth one down. Okay. Bang, and now you're drinking.
Who's this week's guest?
This week was just me. We watched memes together in the chat room, and we talked about relationships and hanging out. One of the old shows has Tom Merritt on it. That's still fun. And he got drunk. Times are good. We drink online, not alone is the tagline. So yeah, IQMZ, I be doing stuff. It's over there.
Can I drink coffee? Because things get a little crazy after my third or fourth cup of coffee.
You can. Can we make it a hottie toddy? Can we throw some?
Okay, maybe. We'll see. Let's talk.
All right.
Well, Owen, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure we will see you on Twit or hopefully this show again soon. Thanks so much for coming on.
Yay.
Yay.
Thanks for having me.
Happy
care. Martin Luther King Day.
Yes, happy Martin Luther King Day. Thank you so much. Tomorrow, Jason will be back, and TNT records live every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, midnight UTC at twit.tv/live. You can be a part of the show by emailing us at tnt@twit.tv or leaving us a short voicemail at 260-TNT-SHOW. You can also find us on Twitter at Tech News Today TV. And subscribe to our show. We would love for you to subscribe. And if you are already subscribed and you know someone who might like to subscribe, send them to twit.tv/TNT. And if you want to tweet at me, I am Megan Maroney. Thank you to our technical director, Brian. Thank you to Burke for helping out in the studio. Thanks to Kevin for editing the show. And thanks to you for talking tech with us. We'll see you tomorrow.